Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're returning. It's your girl Fiery Moon and I'm here to do it's kind of like an impromptu reading. I was having, a discussion today and we were talking about, what is considered, like the circle of influence and control. And, sometimes we don't realize how much power we actually have. And it gave me an idea for a reading. I haven't done this spread before, but it is, a set spread that I, made up. It's 6 questions that I wrote down. Um, and, it gave me the idea to want to, do a reading around this circle of influence. Basically what it is the circle of influence it's a circle within a circle. So it's what you cannot control as the influence around you, and then what you can control as your own personal circle of influence or impact rather. So I decided that would be a good idea for a spread. So I wrote down, like I said, 6 questions. Excuse me, it is just a general, reading. So it's not tied to any specific zodiac signs. So I was like, let's see what comes out, like what's going on. So I will read off the question as I get the cards, but I did just want to start with the Empowering Questions deck just to see, what question we may need to ask ourselves, what question we may be pondering as it pertains to the circle of influence, whether it's people, places, or things around us. So we're gonna jump right in. As I always say, take what resonates and leave the rest. Know that the energy can be vice versa or interchangeable, and time as well as the energy is fluid. So we're gonna see what empowering question we need, and then we'll jump into the spread. So give me an empowering question for the collective at this time. What empowering question do we need at this time for the collective? Alright, I'm gonna do one more. This is a good one. Just looking at the bottom of the deck, it says, what is the worst thing that can happen if I let go of things that no longer serve me? Just something you might want to ask. It's the bottom of the deck. And, as I was writing the questions, I was like, because not everyone it's not all positive and it's not all negative. Which was the reason why some of us have, a positive circle of influence around us, but some of us don't. And, we're just going to see, what needs to come through in regards to that energy, and how with, basing on what we can control and what we can't control, how, what do we need to let go of? What do we need to allow in? And what will the outcome be? As it pertains to the circle of influence around us. And initially when, while we were doing the discussion, I kept getting the, serenity prayer. So some of you may know that. If not, it's just the prayer that says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So that's where the inspiration, came from this reading. And as soon as I got that, I was like, it just felt like do a spread around it. So here I am. So what empowering question do we need right now? Listen, and you guys, I'm shuffling these cards. Boom. You cannot make this shit up. What is the worst that could happen if I let go of the things that no longer serve me? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me just move my crystals down. I'll actually sit that one up there. I feel like I need to get another one. Let me get one more, please, Spirit. One more. Oh, flip back in. It's too many. Give me less cards, please. Can I get less cards? Thank you. These cards want to talk today. So then we have, what was I intended to do in this life? So some of you guys may be questioning that. Maybe, you know, the circle of influence that you have around you is, you know, you're questioning. It may have you questioning what, you know, what were you intended to do in this life? What's your purpose? So I am using the energy oracle cards, and I am going to be clarifying with the Radiant Wise Tarot. So as it pertains to this spread, Spirit, what messages need to come through for the collective? And almost, excuse me, makes me feel like some of you may even feel like some of the things that you're holding on to is affecting, you know, what you were here or what you were intended to do in this life. That's what I feel just from those two empowering questions. But some of you are asking, like, you know, what is the worst that can happen if you know, you let go of the things that may be holding you back or no longer serving you? Will that help you align with your purpose or, you know, the intended reason for you being here right now? But let's see. What messages do we need as it pertains to the spread? So the first question is, what is the current influence around me, but you as the watcher? What is the current influence around the collective right now? What's the current influence? So we have the man holding the heart. Know that, you know, this is masculine energy, but for the purposes of the spread, this is almost making me feel, you know, the man holding the heart is a King of Cups energy. And the influence around you right now, the King of Cups is normally, you know, an energy that is, you know, has great emotional capacity, but they don't express it. So the influence that could be currently around you right now is, you know, the fact that you don't express yourself. You have a hard time, you know, expressing yourself. And with healer of the ages at the bottom, some of you, you know, may be needing to heal that, you know. But let's see. Where do I feel out of control? So where might you feel out of control? So we have the door to spirit. And this is making me feel like spiritually, some of you guys may feel out of alignment. Some of you may feel like, especially with the door to spirit, because, you know, that's opening up to spirituality. You know, it's allowing, spirit to, also come into you. So you feel out of control, maybe, spiritually. What you're seeing and feeling may not be aligning to like what you know. And then at the bottom, we have Archangel Metatron, which is the sixth chakra in the third eye. So some of you are out of control spiritually because you're not allowing yourself to tap into your intuition and following your intuition, because we do have action up under that, hiring, your higher knowing. So that's where you may feel out of control. So it says, what are you able to control? So what is the collective able to control at this time? We have the Magician and the Mirror. And this makes me feel like as soon as the car flipped over, I heard like yourself. So you are able to control yourself. And it almost makes me feel like with the Magician and the Creator, because the Magician creates, but the Magician in the Mirror is making me feel like, it almost makes me feel how you see yourself. Allowing yourself to evolve and change with the world. The world is energy of endings that bring new beginnings. So some of you, what you can control is, the way yourself, but also, how you see yourself, and what, almost like incorporating or accepting what needs to change, what needs to go, what needs, and allow yourself, the capacity for things to come in as well. It almost makes me feel like what you create. So the next question is, what influence do you need to block? So what influence do you need to block? Am I taking these? Yes, I'll take these. So we have the third chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra, and the adjacent possibilities. And the solar plexus, that chakra, normally represents, it's your life force, it's your vitality, it's how you, project or portray yourself, how you want to be seen. And adjacent possibilities, that is like the Seven of Cups. So what do you need to block though? With this coming out, it makes me feel like some of you are allowing like your ego to, almost limit your possibilities. I feel like there's a limiting of possibilities. Then at the bottom of the deck, like I said, male and female doesn't matter. It's because some of you, you're focused on, with the woman holding a coin, you're focused on, the material things. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but if it comes from a place of ego, it's almost like an energy of, how can I explain it? Like, oh, how can I explain this? Like, almost wanting to keep up appearances, because you're so stuck in your ego, it kind of blinds you. And, from seeing what other possibilities are out there, it makes me feel like you limit yourself, but it comes from a place of ego. So that for some of you, what you need to block out is your ego and tap into, this energy, but also, being comfortable with expressing that, allowing it to, your emotions to flow freely, how you feel. Right. So what influence do you need to allow? What influence do you need to allow? What influence do you need to allow? Like I said, we have attachment. which is, you know, the way I'm seeing this is the releasing of attachments and, you know, exercising or expressing or speaking your truth with the fifth chakra here, Archangel Gabriel. So you need to allow yourself to detach from things that are not you or for you. With attachment here. Because again, even with this attachment, you see her wrist is like chained, chained to that, what is it? It looks like some type of wooden post, you know, feeling, you know, stuck in a situation. But since this is coming out for what you need to allow, it's like you need to allow yourself to be free. And the last question is, what will the outcome be? What will the outcome be? You'll free yourself with the all tied up. It's normally, you know, the Eight of Swords energy where you're feeling stuck, you're feeling all tied out. And so what this is actually giving me two different meanings. If you allow yourself to open up and express how you feel and not hold yourself back, that's how you free yourself. But for some of you, if you choose to sit in this ego and having, you know, these negative or toxic attachments, you'll stay stuck. We have deceit at the bottom. So for some of you, depending on, you know, which way the energy is going for you, if you stay in this energy, you're going to stay in this. This is almost like the Seven of Swords and, you know, the devil energy tied to toxicity, self-sabotaging energy. And if it's the other way around, you know, you'll set yourself free from this. That's what I feel like. What will the outcome be? So it almost makes me feel like the choice is yours. The choice is yours. Choice is yours. So let's put some tarot on this. Shuffle today. Let's get some tarot. What messages do we need to clarify this energy of the spread? What messages do we need? Oh, yeah, 18. Alright, I'm gonna do one more. Alright, so why is the man holding a heart here for the influence that's around the collective right now? Why is the man holding a heart here? Why is the man holding a heart here for the current influence around the collective? Yeah. We have the Tower. which, you know, the tower represents, you know, sudden change, abrupt change, needing to change, needing to release. The tower is also an energy of releasing. So needing to release, it almost feels like, yeah, the pent up feelings and emotions. Some of you are very like emotionally guarded, but even with justice here, it's like, you know, it's time to balance that out. Give me one more for the man holding the heart, please. The man holding the heart. That's too many. Give me less cards, please. The man holding the heart. The man holding the heart. Why is that here for the collective? The man holding the heart. Yeah. Then we have the moon, which is, you know, it is emotions. It's also illusion and fear. Some of you, this energy is around you because you fear, you know, opening up with that tower moment. So that current influence around you is like, it almost makes me feel like, you know, there's a fear of, like I said, expressing yourself. And some of you, you know that with the King of Swords at the bottom, but some of you, you know, you may even take on this King of Swords energy, which makes me feel like, you know, very stoic. Like you'd rather be more mental than emotional. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there needs to be some type of balance. And as I said, balance. We have the Chariot. So some of you know, like, you need to move forward. You need to, you know, incorporate some type of balance between, for some of you, it feels like your head and your heart. But some of you are afraid of where, look at this, where, you know, some of you are afraid of tapping into that feminine energy with the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Swords. But some of you are also afraid of, you know, establishing, you know, boundaries and speaking your truth. The Queen of Swords, she speaks. But the King of Swords is very silent. But some of you guys, you know, like, you need to look at, create some type of balance. We have the Chariot here with the King and Queen of Swords. All right, so where do you feel out of control? We have Door to Spirit. Why is that here? And like I said, for some of you, you know, you spiritually, you're feeling like out of alignment, but the cards are clearly showing that as well. What's this? Yeah. We have the Page of Swords. So some of you are needing to allow in some, you know, spiritual information, spiritual guidance, spiritual messages, because you feel out of control. Some of you may not know. It almost makes me feel like you may be like questioning why you feel the way you feel. And then we have the Hanged Man at the bottom. Yeah, some of you, it's almost like if this is what's making you feel out of control, it's because you need to like almost see things from a different perspective. It almost makes me feel like some of you may feel like being emotional makes you weak. If your masculine energy, that has been what's been perpetuated in, you know, society. Give me one more for Door to Spirit, please. But men are just as emotional as women. If you ask me personally, I think men are more emotional than women. But society would have you think otherwise. I think, and it's only because this is just my personal opinion, because men are told that they, you know, can't express themselves, can't be emotional, it makes them even more emotional. It's like counteracting, in my opinion. But give me one more from Door to Spirit. For some of you, you know, you're feeling out of control, and Spirit is trying to communicate, you know, trying to get messages to you through this Page of Swords. Like, you have to, you know, release. You have to release. Release the fear of your emotions, because you're holding them back. Look how he's holding the heart. Give me one more for Door to Spirit, please. Yeah. We have the Magician here. So it's like for some of you where you're out of control, you know, the Magician has control. And it's almost like Spirit is trying to like almost rein you in. They're trying to talk to you. Some of you may not be understanding, you know, the messages that are coming too, because you have, it almost makes me feel like you have emotional overload. So you don't know what is what. Excuse me, with this Seven of Cups here. So some of you, you know, you try to avoid it with the Eight of Pentacles, but it blocks you or holds you back from this Ten of Cups energy. True happiness, true emotional fulfillment, the ultimate emotional fulfillment. All right. So what are you able to control? We have the Magician and the Mirror, and the Magician is here. You know, like I said, the Magician has all the tools he needs to create what he wants. But some of you are, you know, not using it. Not using the tools that you have. Your emotions is, you know, emotions are not bad is what it makes me want to say. Why is the Magician in the Mirror here? Yeah, the Emperor. You know who you are. You can the Emperor is in very much control of himself. He's looked at, you know, like as a leader. Yeah, but some of you don't, you know, you don't believe that. You toggle back and forth with that energy. And the Emperor is all of the kings, you know, in one. He's the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. Yeah, and some, like I said, you grapple. It's like you go back and forth with your feelings and stepping into your power, but that's where the power comes from. Like, you know, it's making me think of, you know, a lot of people just think like, oh, electricity runs through the ground and, you know, through the poles and whatever, but that power is being generated by water. It's being pumped. That energy is being created by water. Give me one more for the Magician and the Mirror. Yeah. And then we have the Queen of Wands coming out here. And this makes me feel like in this position of what you are able to control is by stepping into, you know, and owning your power. It's almost like you have the power to create, you know, how, you know, people receive you, how you want to be seen in a way. Like, how can I explain it? It almost makes me feel like instead of like, for me, and this is just my opinion, it's like the Queen of Wands, yes, she's, you know, the fiery queen or whatever, but she looks outside of herself for like validation. And it's like you'll stop looking outside of yourself for your power that you already have, especially with that coming out on top of the Magician in the Mirror. Like I said, the Magician has all that he needs. And then we have death at the bottom, which means, that is what's transforming. You need to transform the need to seek validation. And that was the Nine of Cups that wanted to flip over. But, it's like that's a card of, being fulfilled for yourself. You have to seek self-fulfillment, not validation. Yeah, and then we got the Ten of Wands. Like, yeah, by you seeking validation, it's like it's a burden. Like, it's burdensome. If you validate yourself, you don't need to seek anything, because it's almost like you put all of that pressure and weight on other people. And it just has you going around in the loop, it's almost making me feel like people pleasing. And as I say that, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is that energy. Trying to keep everybody satisfied and happy, But then with the Eight of Pentacles here, it makes me feel like, for some of you, like, it's because you avoid putting the work in for yourself. So tell me about this third chakra and adjacent possibilities. For what do you need to block? And like I said, for some of you, it's ego. It's a lot of ego. The third chakra and adjacent possibilities. Why is that here? Why is this here for the collective? For what? The influence they need to block. It's the influence that needs to be blocked. Oh, that's too many. Give me less cards, please. The influence that needs to be blocked. The third chakra and adjacent possibilities. Some of you don't want to let go of this energy. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords. Which that means, it's like you need to, definitely you need to block this out. For one, because that's what the Queen of Swords does. She cuts it out. She cuts it out. And you guys need to welcome in a fresh new perspective with the Ace of Pentacles here. You need to welcome that in. Because honestly, like, you being caught up in the ego, it keeps you stuck in the past and missing opportunities. Like I said, I felt like you were, blocking yourself from the opportunities that were here. Give me one more for this energy, please, Spirit. And it came out again. You blocked yourself. Some of you, you block yourself, but some of you, this is just confirmation that you need to block out your ego. You need to come out of your solar plexus. Get it into balance and alignment. And with adjacent possibilities, we have the Ace of Pentacles coming out. Because what you end up blocking yourself from great opportunities that try to come in for you. Because your ego is going to perpetuate fear, loss, but it also keeps you attached as well. And for some of you, like, we got the Empress now. You'll be in alignment at the highest capacity, physically, with the Emperor and the Empress. Because right now, you're the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. That's really not a match. The Emperor and the Empress is a match. Yep. So then we have, what influence do you need to allow? Which is, releasing that attachment, setting yourself free, being okay with yourself. You need to allow in, change. This is almost making me feel like the death card. Some of you guys are needing to allow yourself to, take off the mask, step out from behind, that energy and set yourself free. Why is attachment here for what you need to allow? What? You got the world, yeah. Close off that cycle. End the cycle. Break the cycle. Because by you releasing any attachments or influences, you need to allow yourself detachment is what this is making me feel with the world. Allow yourself, just like I said with this woman on the card taking off the mask, detach from that ego so that you can welcome in, the new beginnings, passion, creativity, desire, drive with the Ace of Wands. Because for some of you, you're being shown that, you're not happy where you're at with the Hermit and the Four of Cups. You're not happy. You're discontent and bored because you put so much burden on yourself, seeking validation from others. Give me one more for attachment. And the influence you need to allow. You need to close the cycle of attachment. Give me one more for attachment, please. Yes. Close that out. Close out this. The past. It's past cycle. You're attached to old things, old feelings, old people, old places, whatever it may be. Close that out because you're strong enough to do it. But some of you may have like a need for control. But you need to allow in this energy of strength. Like, know that you're strong enough. You're showing up as the Emperor here. Look, and this, like, I couldn't even get it out. It flipped right over. Walk away from these old feelings and emotions. You have to leave, it just makes me want to say, let sleeping dogs lie. And then we have another movement card. You need to get to more calmer waters. Because right now, like I said, I feel like some of you may just, because you're holding in so much emotionally, it's gonna end up boiling over with this Tower here. You have to release the fear and release these feelings, whether it's through crying, whether it's through expressing yourself, whatever it may be. And some of you are like wondering how you can, make better choices with the Seven of Pentacles. You're looking out, waiting for your shifts to come in. This is how I see it. Like this. And you're searching for that, that emotional balance, that Queen of Cups. We have the man holding the heart, which is the King of Cups energy. And some of you, you're looking at that feminine energy because it almost makes me feel like you want to. But why is all tied up here? For what will the outcome be? It makes me feel like saying it's either you do or you don't. And from what I feel in these cards, it's like you do. You don't want to feel stuck and burdened and, missing opportunities. Why is all tied up here? For what will the outcome be? Yeah. And like I said, will you, or are you gonna? Because this is, feeling at a crossroads. Some of you, you're gonna stay at this crossroads and just be stuck. But for others of you, you're going to move forward because it's what you've been thinking about. You've already been thinking about it. You've already turned your back on the past there. You got the Ace of Wands and the World in your hand. Now it's actually what needs to be done is you putting in the actual action, making movements. It's time to move and express yourself with the Knight of Swords. Give me one more for all tied up. Yeah. Some of you are already planning this. And you don't have to do it big. We got the Knight of Pentacles, who is he's the slowest moving knight, but he's very, methodical. He thinks about it. He plans. He's a planner. And some of you guys are going to start doing it, little by little with the Page of Cups here. But it's almost like, you're pacing yourself. And sometimes, that's what you have to do until you get comfortable. You may have to, pace yourself through it. But that's what you're looking to do. Because for some of you, you're looking and realizing that you're all tied up. And nothing is coming of it. With the Knight of Pentacles here. Give me one more. Give me one more. For this all tied up. Yeah. Some of you, we did have Judgment come out in reverse, which some of you are afraid of, being judged or receiving judgment. But Judgment in reverse is like, because in the upright, it's a calling. Some of you are, trying to ignore this calling. But for some of you, it's going to be so loud that this is the only thing you can do. Is be a fool, take a leap of faith, and we end with the Lovers. Getting into balance. Your masculine and your feminine energy. Balancing yourself out, yes. And being, strong and confident in that as well. The Nine of Pentacles, what? Self-sufficient, independent, secure within yourself. Yes. Yes, yes. And for sometimes you're going to have to block out, like it almost makes me feel like the opinions of others with the Two of Swords and the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands could be messages. But it's page energy, so it's like child energy. You're gonna have to block out what other people are saying, and just do what's what you feel you need to do. And some of you are gonna do that, because it almost makes me feel like with this Judgment, some of you are judging yourselves. Like judging yourselves too harshly. Give me one for Judgment in reverse. And it, with it being in reverse too, it almost makes me feel like you're not going to be judged. You're, but you're judging yourself. But some of you, it's fear of judgment. So it's almost like you try to play it safe with this Knight of Pentacles. Why is Judgment in reverse? That was the Page of Wands that wanted to come out. Yeah, because you're worried about what? It almost makes me feel like saying insignificant people have to say. You're showing up as the Emperor. They're showing up as the Page of Wands. Judgment in reverse. Yeah, because like I said, for some of you, you're worried about how people are going to look at you. You're worried if you are going to be, it's making me feel like a lot of insecurity. You're fearing, like it's your own insecurity that, you're judging. Or feeling like people, are going to like abandon you or leave you out in the cold. Because this is what you see, because you're holding back your emotions. That's what you see as the King of Cups. This Five of Pentacles, which is lack. It almost, like I said, it makes me feel like you may feel like expressing your emotions makes you weak or makes you less than, and it doesn't. And then we have the Knight of Swords, yeah, and it's like, cut that out. Cut out worrying about how people are going to see you. How people are going to, you know, almost be receptive to you. You're judging yourself too harshly. You're judging yourself too harshly. Yep. And again, the Lovers at the bottom. There you have it, guys. Yep. For some of you, you are, you know, you like, it is what it is, but some of you, you are going to stay in this energy and regret, you know, with this Five of Cups, regret not making this change. Because you're still, you know, grappling with that energy, the Two of Pentacles. You're still going back and forth with whether you want to change this or not. And you got to want it for yourself. You have to want it for yourself. So there we have it. There we have it. I like this spread. I really do. And I was just getting like a guidance or advice card. And we got the Door to Value. Some of you, you know, what this is, it's like you have to see the value within yourself with this Judgment in reverse. Stop judging yourself so harshly and worrying about what other people are going to say. Even, so what if they don't like you investing in yourself, working on yourself, putting in that, you know, self-care and self-love for yourself? That's how you get to the Door to Value. And the Door to Value is here for the guidance or advice. It's like, it's time to walk through that door. It's time to step into who you are. And look what it leads to, Cornucopia, which is the Ten of Pentacles. And it opened you up to also the door to romance. Like, you can't make this shit up. You can't. But some of you guys are like scared to walk through the gate, scared to cross that threshold. Give me one more for guidance or advice, and that'll be the reading. Guidance or advice. Yeah. Move away. We got the seat here. Move away. We have Victory, which is like the sense of Six of Wands. You gotta move away from this deceit. You gotta go. It's time to move. It's time to move. Move away from any toxicity, whatever is not serving you. Because it's standing in your way. It's standing in your way. It's standing in your way. Yeah, because you fear that anxiety. You fear it. It's like the Nine of Swords. Why is deceit here for the guidance or advice? Just because I know some of you guys want that clarified, even though I said what I said. Yep. And I don't take cards that fall off the floor, so I'm going to put this back. But this is the King of Swords. You know that you need to cut this out. Yeah, you have to change your perspective. You have to heal your perspective with the Queen, with the Hangman and the Star. Tell me about this deceit card for the guidance or advice. Because like that deceit there, yep, is you deceiving yourself. Yep. It's like some of you are playing like mental mind games with yourself when you already know that you need to transform this. Yeah. Look at it. You know you need to transform, get balanced emotionally so that you can move forward, balance. As this Chariot, you cannot make this shit up. Some of you need to change your perspective on, you know, because a lot of you feel defeated, but it's almost like this Deceit card is illusion. All right. So that is the reading, guys. I definitely hope you enjoyed it. As always, I thank you for tuning in with me. And I'm always sending you guys, you know, love and light. And I will see you all on the next reading. All right? Later.